This is Booze at 10 with Graham Whistler.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to episode 9 of Booze at 10 with me, Graham Whistler. This is Booze at 10, the topical-ish news show where a panel of comedians take the topical out of the news and just drink and have a little chat instead. However, much like the news, we do still have the bongs. Alex said to me before the show in his traditional pep talk, Graham, don't fuck it up. Nailed it. Right. You may have seen the big news story today, trending on Twitter, was the story of how a woman's foot became viral as it being turned into anti-vaxxer propaganda. This is literally the story of a woman who took a picture of her foot because she had a rash and wanted to know what it was, and somebody stole that picture and turned it viral as some sort of anti-vaxxer propaganda, saying that this is what the vaccine causes in the allergic reaction, which is no mean feat. Hey, come on, first joke. That was generous. 9 episodes in, I think that's the first topical joke I've done. There we go. As always, if you'd like to support the show and donate to us, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. You can donate via the PayPal link, which is paypal.me/gwhistlercomedy, or you can use the preset QR code in the corner, which is set at £5, which will help go towards paying for some of the acts. I'd like to be able to give them a fee because this is technically work for us. Or at the very least, help cover my beers. Now, it's a big personal news, of course. This week is our esteemed producer, the lean work that makes the stream work, Mr. Alex Lean, who maybe now should be called Mr. Alex Lean or Lean. Even I fucked it up. Don't fuck it up, Graham. Fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up, Graham. Don't fuck it up. Yes.
Mr. Alex Lean, shall we say? Because you've recently hit your weight loss target of 6 stone.
Yes.
Which is well done. That's
Thank
impressive.
you. It's a good job that streaming panel shows weren't a big thing when I first started. Otherwise, I would have needed 2 cameras.
Absolutely.
To fit me all in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, 3 social networks wouldn't have been enough to fit me in. So here we are.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's worked out for the best then, hasn't it? So that's great. Cool. So obviously, as always, you'll be popping up with some viewer comments and stuff. Have we had anything on straight away? Now, I say this because normally it's Ian, who is, of course.
I was about to say, because normally we've got 5 or 6 either puns or slagging the pair of us off somewhere.
Yeah.
By now. But Ian
however, Ian is a guest tonight. Yeah.
Ian,
I feel like
feel free to still comment if you've got a spare screen open.
Absolutely.
Prove your worth.
It won't be the same. Won't be the same without Ian. I'll see. We took different tactics now. You're trying to motivate him.
Actually,
we're
he's not commented, but there's if you've ever used StreamYard, there's like a private chat for everyone that is on the stream. So Ian has just put, Alex was so fat he couldn't use Zoom. That was beautiful. That's beautiful.
Because it wouldn't fit in the frame.
Yeah.
And
Harry Waddington Brown is on. He's put up, well done on the weight loss, you sexy devil.
That's the nicest thing he's ever said to anyone.
Who are you? What have you done with Harry?
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Cool. All right. So good. We've got some comments and some viewers coming in there. That's good. Right. Cool. So I'll check and view at some point, and cool. We'll get some guests on. Good. Right. Thank you very much, Alex. Please welcome Mike Cox, Ian Bowden, and Maggy Whitehouse. Hello, guys. Hello. I just like to point out as well, just for anyone that is a regular viewer, which is literally Ian, but never mind. We're 9 episodes in, and this is the first time we've got a full house. Well done, you absolute bunch of lushes, including the producer.
Me as well.
Yeah. Cheers. Clang, clang, flag, whatever. Cheers. Right. Good.
And he's just frozen, hasn't he? I think he has Harry's comment.
I think, yeah. What's happened there? I'm right now. I think it's working, but for some reason on my phone is flashing like I've got. Oh, someone tried to call me. That's why. Good. I've got do not disturb on, and yet my phone is ringing. Fuck knows. Good. I work in a phone shop as well. I should know how this goes. There you go. Don't buy a phone from me. I'm rubbish. Top story. There we go. Good. So, cool. I just wanted to, I tried to get a lot of people cancelled on me last minute today. So thank you very much for covering literally all of you. So appreciate that. One of the guys I tried to get to cover tonight was Andrew White, who's actually got a proper live gig this evening. Which is
we hate him.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I'm real jealous of
Is he
him
being
right now.
paid?
I presume not. It's comedy, but you know, I wonder where. I was just about to say. I wonder where Mike Cox has gone, and I was trying to be very careful about how I worded that. Oh, he's back. Good.
I don't know what happened there.
No, it's happened to me a couple of times now. But anyway,
I was hoping to sneak out for some more ice, but with the amount of people that stream's dropping, I'm gonna have to actually sit and do work throughout the whole show tonight for the first time, which is
amazing. Right. No, I was just saying about Andrew White couldn't do the show because he's actually off doing a proper gig, actually live on stage in front of human people.
Who does he think he is?
That's pretty much what the other two said. The lucky bar steward. So we're stuck doing this. Hey. But thank you very much. So I wanted to I'm trying to actually get involved with doing some talking points on this instead of just vaguely stumbling my way through for half an hour. So the thing I saw today was about the did you all see it? The story about how a woman took a picture of her foot just because she had a rash, and someone reposted it and used it to incite anti-vaxxer propaganda. And I just thought it was, even though I disagree with it, I just thought it was genius because people were latching onto it. It was just a rash on a foot, and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm not doing the vaccine now. This is outrageous. I can't do it." Like, it's just all you've got is a bit of, I don't know, like what, dermatitis on your toe, and it's like, no, that's it. I can't do the vaccine now. I've had enough. I was about to say something really rude, but my mum was walking past, and I still can't. I think in 10 years of doing stand-up,
I'm not your mother.
No, in 10 years of doing stand-up, I still get really awkward about doing like filthy jokes if I know my mum's in the audience. So what I was going to say is that on the reaction of seeing a rash on somebody's foot, people are refusing to do the vaccine. However, they will eat out a stranger's ass without even thinking twice about it. Was what I was going to say. But yeah.
I think that says a lot more about you, because that wasn't where I immediately went with that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're probably right.
Is this Booze at 10 or Brian Whistler's confession booth?
Confessions on booze, I guess, maybe is what usually the truth comes out when you drink, doesn't it? Apparently, is what they say. So
it made me laugh at that thing about the foot, right? Is that it won't even, like, anti-vaxxers won't be put off with knowing that was a stolen picture. Like the very fact that you have to steal a picture of somebody's manky foot just to try and prove something suggests that you're full of shit, mate. But anti-vaxxers will go, I'll just ignore that. I'll wait for the next bit of Facebook propaganda to really latch on for. Don't ask me where the pictures come from.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you've completely debunked it. They've gone, yeah, but the thing is, they have to use a fake picture because the government have hidden the real one, right? It'd be something like that. It'd be completely ridiculous.
Am I allowed to tell a story about vaccines?
Yes, go for it.
Not entirely funny, but it's absolutely 100% true. And it's about a botched vaccine that probably saved my life. Because many years ago, I'm going to lower the tone of the evening, but I don't think that's going to matter very much. My first husband...
That's exactly why I wanted you to do this.
Thank you so much. So my late husband, my first husband, and I didn't kill him, honest, just to do the funeral. I mean, I'm desperate for the work, obviously, but I didn't kill him. But he had genital herpes, and this was 30 years ago. And there was a trial vaccine for all the herpes aspects, including genital herpes. And he suggested I went and had it because I was his wife and I was in touch with his genitals. And so I went and had this trial vaccine. Now, I'd never had chickenpox. Within 4 weeks of having the vaccine, I had vicious shingles. So that vaccine didn't work. However, I went to South America with my dad, who chased steam engines for a living, other story. And we were held up out in the hills outside Lima by some alleged army kids. They were about 17, and they were looking for drugs. I don't know if they were going to nick them or whether they were going to nick us or whatever, but they were holding us up with guns to our heads, and it was utterly, utterly terrifying. And they rifled through my dad's luggage, and they found his medical kit, because he used to travel all over the world, and he had this great big medical kit full of drugs, and they thought that these were illegal drugs. And we were about to be arrested or shot or something. And then I remembered I got the shingles. So I mimed at them, "Can I show you something?" And they said yes. And I pulled up my frock and showed them this incredible great rash. And they all went, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," in Spanish, and ran away. So a botched vaccine saved my life. So
there you go.
Vaccine, okay?
Well, there you go. So even when they go wrong, they're saving lives. It's what more do you need to know? Absolutely.
Yeah, still get the bloody shingles though.
Out there somewhere, though, there's a picture of that rash of your body going, "This is what the COVID-19 vaccine does."
That's right. This woman is still alive 30 years later. See how bad that is.
You know, I've actually developed a dating app for over 50s. It's called onlyshingles.com. Sorry. Sorry.
You imply.
Rim shot. Yes, first one. Or was the second one? Second one. I'm on fire. Right. Yeah, that's actually a great story. That's amazing. Ian, I've noticed you're on the Baileys. Love that. I'll spin you a weird question. If you were to try and convince or debunk the anti-vaxxers, how would you get around this? What would be your argument, do you think?
Well, I'll probably say that in a pub, they'll drink absolutely anything that's brought to them by someone else. So someone can plonk a drink on the table that's got a pint in and a couple of shots of absinthe, and they'll just down it because it's completely free.
Have you? Yeah, you know me well. I have done that before. Yeah. No, that's a good point. It's a good point. I think Mike's right. I think whatever you try and do, they'll just find a way to get out of it, and just they won't admit that they're wrong.
It doesn't matter how many people with autism that you introduce to them who were born before the MMR jab. That's going to change their mind.
Yeah.
Did anyone friends with Marcus Gill on Facebook?
Yeah.
Did you see his post the other day about the vaccine? He's like,
yes,
so what? I'm going to be. Yeah, but he's like, so what? I'm going to be one of the first volunteers. What's the worst that could happen? Double autism. It's amazing.
If you've already got it, will it undo it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should. I think that might be an interesting. We should get Marcus to do a live stream of him getting his vaccine, just to see what happens. Like some sort of. Oh, here we go. In quotes, reaction video. Anyone? No? Okay, fine. Whatever. Oh man, there we go. Yeah. So when I said to you guys that the show was kind of completely unorganized, and this is basically it, I wasn't lying. You can go back and watch any of the other episodes as well. It's pretty much this. So there you go. What I like about I should have dug this out, but I had someone knock on my door the other day to say that they were going to the anti-lockdown protest rally in London, which coincidentally was like 2 days before the end of the lockdowns. I was like, what the fuck is the point? Like if you're going to protest something happening for a second time that's supposedly against your civil rights or whatever. Why are you doing it at the end? Do it at the start. Like protest it at the beginning.
They were doing it to avoid the shame of confessing they were going to look at the Christmas windows at Fortnum and Mason.
Yeah, okay. No, true. You're probably right. But they delivered this pamphlet. There was like some sort of COVID watchtower. You know, like a like a anti-vaxxer for Jehovah's Witnesses. It's incredible. If I could find it, I'd read it. But it's got everything from they denounce Black Lives Matter as a movement to 5G is just a way to microchip people. Like it's absurd, but it's comedy gold. I think there's going to be 10 minutes of material out of that at least. But I wondered if
only people that complain that think they're going to be microchipped and tracked are the world's most boring cunts. No one of any note is worried about that. It's just people who no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. I mean, yeah. One of them actually is the person that brought it around is actually my cousin Teresa, and I mean she's. I don't. I'm not going to say anything bad, but I almost took it as a compliment. Like the way I tried to spin it, I didn't want to call her a moron to her face. So the way I tried to spin this was like, I mean, I don't agree with you. However, it's nice of you to think of me. That if this is something you're genuinely concerned about, and you've come to me about this, so I'll take that. See you never. Cool. Cheers. Bye. Like it was weird. I don't talk to my family much because they're all insane.
It's called diplomacy.
Yeah, maybe I should have been a politician. Do you reckon I could play? How much of the blue badge sort of card could I play? Do you reckon to get me into some sort of level of politics? Do you reckon?
I think that's you're going to have to play the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Is there some kind of because like the only thing where I've ever really found it effective is getting onto the rides quicker at like Fort Park and stuff. That's it. That's the only like you say what you like about benefits. That's the only thing I found useful. This is like
here's a question for you. Have you ever hammed it up to get more?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like absolutely. I'm not even like I forgot my badge once and parked in the last space, right? And I did that thing from the scene in that Ali G movie, you know, from like 2003 or whatever it was, and he parks into the last like disabled space, and there's a guy in like a mobility thing with like the hood up and like looking at him, and he walks away like holding his leg and just sort of I did that basically because of it. Although I once got a parking ticket for displaying my badge because I didn't get a new one. It was a week out of date, and the guy gave me a ticket, and it's just as I come back as well. And I was like, what? You didn't give me a ticket? I've got my badge there. He was like, well, it's not valid. And I was like, I looked down at my leg and was like really sarky about it. And I was like, oh my god, it's a fucking miracle! You've cured me. Do you know what? Keep the car. I'll sprint home. It's time. So yeah. I mean,
I'm afraid if you don't top up, you can't keep the palsy.
Yeah, the minutes don't roll over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Like, I feel like if you've been, you know, given something that puts you at a disadvantage, you've got to level the playing field somehow, right? So, the problem I have.
Disagree with that.
Sorry, say again?
I said, how would I disagree with that? I'm at a disadvantage all the time. I'm a vicar. I've got to play to it.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
I'm not even really white.
There you go. You could be amazed what you can play to. I'm trying to work out what I can play to right now so that Harry will call me a sexy devil, because I really, really want Harry to call me a sexy devil. Harry, what do you need?
If he's still watching, I think he will. I think he's quite easily swayed like that.
So I can now put on my Edinburgh 2029 photo, which is when we're going to get back to the Edinburgh Fringe, a sexy devil, Harry Waddington Brown. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great for that.
Yeah. Well, by then he might have actually got his ass on stage, because I've been trying to get him on stage for years, and he's now over the last sort of year or so, or maybe 18 months, has been doing a lot of online content, and he's one of those that's never been on stage but does lots of online content, so refers to himself as a comedian. It really pisses me off, you know. So, but yeah, see, Mike's shaking your head. Exactly, you're right. Also, though, I feel like
YouTubers call themselves actual celebrities.
Yeah. Influencer has become my least favorite word in the English dictionary. It's just.
Which is quite ironic considering most of the time you are under the influence.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. What I do. There we go. Well done, Ian. What I always find funny about.
I'm very pathetic now. I need to fetch all the equipment that Harry wants me to have in order for him to call me a sexy devil. So just keep talking, gentlemen.
Oh, okay, hang on. We're going for a wardrobe change. I didn't realise this was happening.
No, we're not. Here's the cream. The lips now.
What's happening?
Harry posted up something saying he would not call me a sexy devil until I got some whips, cream cheese, 3 kilograms of unbleached flowers, and 2 step ladders. So I'm trying to find my whip. Here we are. There's the whip. That's the riding crop. Will that do? Good. Right. Going back to the kitchen now. I've got cream, but you actually want cream cheese, don't you? Right, I can do that.
I mean, this is only reaffirming everything I thought about the clergy.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you are. Bit of cream cheese. Bit of cream, unbleached flour. Yeah. I can do that.
That will do it. There you go.
Keep talking.
Well, Harry, you've got to say it now. You can't just say that will do it and then not say it. You've got to.
Unbleached flour, cream cheese, a whip, and I can also provide 2 hunting dogs. Would that help? That'll do.
Type it, Harry. How can you not like this?
And would you please say it, Harry? Harry, would you please say you are a sexy devil so I can quote you? That's important.
Where's my gone?
Me coming back
I will
on
then
to
take over the entire show and sit down again and let you guys talk.
There was a real Jamie
Oliver
Oliver
memories of Challenge Annika.
I'll just add that.
Alex, how?
I've got to say, a round of applause for Maggie for that. That was
absolutely. That was
television. That was right. Harry has replied. He has put Maggie Whitehouse. I have the right amount of mummy issues to call you mummy. Keep them all handy, you sexy devil. There we go. And it looks like Mike is back as well.
My hounds are agreeing. Come here.
The dog's kicking off now.
Rough crowd.
This is just.
As I've been convinced that was a human being who'd been made to crawl around on the floor.
Being led away to be alcohol.
Oh dear. That was. This is absolutely mental.
This is what happens when you get somebody on at the last minute, especially a vicar. Cheers.
Yeah, indeed. Cheers.
Right, Harry Waddington Brown has the right amount of mummy issues to call me mummy. Keep them all handy, you sexy devil. Well, I'm very flattered you didn't call me grandma, Harry. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Right. That was the most absurd thing I think I've ever seen. Well, this is the show. This is it. I've got nothing else to say. I was letting you guys carry on with it. It was phenomenal. I'll tell you what, actually, just to go back to talking about quoting Edinburgh Flyers, a couple of people, including our esteemed producer, has applied for Edinburgh shows for next year already. Just on the basis that even though the Fringe Society said it won't happen, PBH and Laughing Horse and stuff like that have continued to submit applications. So I suppose 2 questions: will you be submitting one, and do you think it's going to go ahead?
No and no.
No, fair enough. Any reason?
One, I can't see it happening in any sort of decent capacity, and it costs such a massive amount of money. You're not going to have any punters there.
Yeah.
So it'll just be every town's open mic circuit all in one place.
Yeah. And Scottish people tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, and there's.
Oh,
What
that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Oh, what? That was me. That was the guy upstairs. That was.
Yeah. I think that's a sign from God that the Fringe is happening next year.
Yeah. Well,
I think
it was just me going fuck off, and then he went.
Yeah, because
I think they might wait to see how the Leicester Festival goes, because the Leicester Festival is going ahead with a lot of online, a lot of in-thing gigs, but a lot of online content as well. So I think they might see how that works and then decide whether to go ahead of Edinburgh.
Leicester is right in the zone of not feasible from what I've seen, because I've done Leicester a few times and I absolutely love it. But I just like I can't see that one is a definite no. But with like the vaccine news that is coming out, some semblance of performances happening in August in Edinburgh could still happen. Yeah. I think it won't be. I mean, the Fringe Society say it won't happen, but that doesn't mean to say that a Fringe won't take place. Yeah. Or some performances at least. He's back. He's back. There we go.
Try again.
So I think some semblance, but what form it would take, I don't know. Now Mike's back. I'll do one.
The optimist in me quite likes the idea of a kind of without the or an unofficial sort of underground Edinburgh festival. I think in some naive kind of way, I really want it to work. But you're right. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be too expensive. But because I love the festival.
Right. But I think you're exactly right. Like I would absolutely love it if because let's be fair, all them big shows should fuck off anyway. It should entirely be exactly how they're trying to present it to be.
Yeah.
So I hope that it does work. And if you've noticed anything over the last 9 months, it's just how committed the comedy industry is to make stuff work. So I think if it does work, it could be amazing. I just still think it might just be like it'll be more of a lovely experience than it will be of any benefit to anyone.
Yeah, I know
I
what you mean.
think I'm going to apply. I think I'm going to apply sort of in the hope that it doesn't happen, because I have this ongoing problem with my bishop in that I seem to be completely incapable of offending him, which you would think being a vicar and a comedian would be quite simple to do. There was a time when somebody actually rang him up and said, "Do you know one of your vicars says fuck?" And he said, "Fuck me, yes, I knew that." He doesn't worry about any of this. And I did a show with Alex and Graham the other day, and he rang me up the following day, and I thought, oh God, I've finally done it at last. I've finally gone through that. I'm really going to be in trouble now. And he said, "Can I give you some constructive feedback?" And I thought, oh, that's his way of telling me I've really blown it. You rushed your jokes. They're very good. You rushed them. And I said, "I'm sorry, my lord, I'm out of practice." And he went, "Well, try harder."
Oh, yeah, because that's every comedian's favourite thing, isn't it? Getting feedback from the general public. Yeah. Do you know what we should do? Fuck off.
But if I applied for Edinburgh and promised to do the show naked, that would be just such a hideous thing that it might make it happen.
Well, the Garden of Eden. I mean,
yeah.
At least you can guarantee that Harry will turn up.
Yeah, Harry will turn up. Yeah,
Harry will turn up. Yeah.
Harry will turn up.
I think you just.
I want your diet cues, please, Alex. Quick.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? As I was saying that, as I was saying that sentence, a really naive part of me hopes that the festival continues as a sort of unofficial underground event, my brain went, what, like a fringe? And I was like, oh yeah, because it is supposed to be the definition of it, isn't it? It's supposed to be for the up and comers, not the big studio stuff. So I'll drive you up, Graham. Perfect. So apparently, Maggie, we're both going to the show. So
Will you
that's
drive
good
me
news.
up, Harry?
Yeah, Carrie, can we go to Edinburgh via Devon? Is that at all possible?
All right, I'll go up to my mother's. You can pick me up from there.
Good. Yeah. Okay. She's not doing the show with you, is she? Because I'm not sure about that.
Probably not. No, she doesn't do well naked.
Right.
Harry, I love you to bits. Start spelling my name correctly. Now that really will turn you on if I start telling you off with a whip.
Well, okay. Maybe we should get Maggie and Harry in some sort of private stream.
I think we should get a room, Harry. I really do.
Yeah. Every time Mike leans forward, he cuts out.
He does.
He was sat back and he went, and then go.
No, at least he didn't say "fuck off" and then he fucked off this time. I was just sat back enjoying the romance between Maggie and Harry that's just going on. It's got all the hallmarks of a Richard Curtis rom-com.
I think so. Of course, Jack Nicholson will turn up later and marry me, and Harry will be allowed to run off with his sweetheart Alex. And
I'm trying to think of some title involving Vickers and autism, but I can't quite.
There's something there.
Or ADHD, or something like that.
Hannah's a sinner, not a wordsmith. Well, you're in good company.
Can you read though? Because her name is literally spelt on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of visual clues there, Harry.
My name is weird because it is Maggie. It's Maggy. It's not Margaret. And it has been the bane of my life. And I always said to my dad, "Why did you call me Maggie? Why?" And he actually said, "That's for me to know and you to find out," which is one of those most annoying things in the world. And my dad was an expert on Oriental languages. He traveled in China a lot. And I started looking into Mandarin Chinese to see if it was something from there. And actually, Meiji, which you could spell like this, means rose in Chinese. So I thought that was absolutely wonderful. And on my dad's deathbed, 1994, I said to him, "Dad, did you call me after the Mandarin Chinese for rose?" And he said, "No, I'm going to tell you the truth. I saw Maggie with a Y written on the back of a lavatory door in Towin, Merioneth. And I just thought it was really pretty."
Amazing.
So basically, my name either means "now wash your hands," or I'm named after the girlfriend of some Welsh guy who couldn't spell.
Amazing. We should turn Maggie into some sort of acronym for washing your hands, or some sort of link to COVID. There's got to be something in there.
Yeah. If you do a Maggie, you won't need the vaccine. There you go.
Perfect. Or be like Maggie, get vaccinated. Hey, that could be a thing. Maybe not. Probably not. But oh, this is mad. Right, what else can we talk about? Because I tend to just sort of scroll through Twitter and hope for something funny that's trending, and that was the feet thing was the only funny thing I found. The rest of it was.
I wanted to talk about that old fella. Did you see him? The 92-year-old who got interviewed by CNN.
No, what was is that the William Shakespeare guy?
No, so there was another dude. I think his name was Martin Kenyon or something, and he got interviewed, and apparently he's gone viral because he's 92. And he was he said a couple of things about he's gone to get COVID, but he went viral. That's now propaganda. Everyone's telling him. So basically what happened is he's got like loads of people following him, but what I loved about, if you watch any of his interviews, how he's subtly just throwing shade in every direction. So there's a bit about, he talks about, "Oh, you've come to the hospital for your jab," and he's like, "Yeah, I came along and I couldn't find anywhere to park the bleeding car. Straight away, local council is under fire, shots fired." And he goes, that made me late. So then I had to go in, I put my name down. There's no point me worrying about there's no point me dying if I've made it to 92. We've got to keep going. And then he goes, so I went off and I had this terrible lunch. Everyone's going to watch the news. He's a classy guy. He hasn't named any names, but everybody knows that they served him lunch, and they've gone, oh, he's had a shit lunch, throwing shade in every direction. He was interviewed on Good Morning Britain. Piers Morgan starts talking to him, and he goes, "Who are you? Who's this?" He's an absolute beast, this guy.
I'm gonna have to Google this later. It sounds amazing.
And you do know, don't you? You do know that they're only vaccinating the very elderly so that they will die of natural causes before the side effects.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, did you
Oh, God.
To say, what if the side effect is dying of
natural causes? Well, that's okay.
There's your fucking conspiracy, guys. That's it. That's it right there. That's some spy novel shit. That's
Martin Kenyon was 92, and he died just within 3 years of getting his jab.
Absolutely. See, that's evidence. Absolute evidence.
What you've got to do is inject them right in between the toes, right where the rash is, and that's what sets it off. Yeah, that was almost a callback there.
Never come across any bodies. Check the feet for rashes.
Exactly.
No, start adding that to the COVID numbers, and then we'll be back lockdown next week.
Yeah. I'm genuinely staggered. I've made a quick little comment about some woman taking a picture of her feet, and we've been talking about this vaguely for 37 minutes. And this is like, how have we? This is like watching an unnamed compere doing his opening 5 for 25 minutes. I won't name names because I couldn't get gigs before lockdown, and I would like to get some after.
I don't mind being 25 minutes later on stage for an overzealous compere. I'll take anything.
Yeah. I've said this quite a few times. It's amazing, isn't it, how your outlook changes. It's almost like I've gone back to being an open micer at the start. Like, you get to a point where you've almost, before you've even made it, before you're even successful, you've almost got not a rider, but you've got like a minimum sort of expectation of what you need from the gig. I.e., is the promoter actually good at promoting it? Are there seats? Is it away from the main pub? Like that kind of thing.
The people in the pub know it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And now that just goes out the window. I'm just like, what's that? It's in someone's garden. Fine. Yeah, absolutely. Like there's very real possibility that I'll get heckled by a duck. Yeah, fine. No problem at all. I'll take that.
Emailing around going, if you've got any gigs going where I can perhaps stand on a crate in a pub garden, can I have it?
Exactly.
I'm really lucky because I live in the countryside, and the field behind us is full of sheep. So all I have to do at night is go out with a torch, and I've got rows and rows of beautiful blue eyes staring at me, and they just stand there and listen for hours. It's wonderful. I can practice all my
sheep, I thought you meant people with iPhones.
No, actual sheep, not sheep, actual sheep. No. And I live in a place that's very like Dibley. I mean, the only difference between where I live and Dibley is that we have more guns.
Hang on. You don't live in a place called Dibley?
I don't. I live in a place called Dartmoor.
Ah.
Oh, okay. But to be fair, I thought you said you lived in a place called Dibley.
No, it's not.
I was like, you're the actual vicar of Dibley. I was about to lose my shit.
Yeah.
Like Dawn French's entire character is based on Maggy Whitehouse.
Are you going to
the biggest puddle you've ever fallen in?
The Pacific Ocean, if you really want to know. But
I knew it would be something amazing. It couldn't just be a normal puddle.
Yeah, so do you know, I'm going to completely skirt the definition of puddle and go for the ocean. I'm just
Yeah, we've all been held up by Southern Rail, but someone else has been literally held up on a train.
I was nearly run over by a train once, but you probably don't. I have to warn you, I am a liability at dinner parties. I've had a life of complete adventures from start to finish.
You brought it up now. We need the train story. We've got to hear the train story. You brought it up. You can't leave us hanging on. I almost got hit by a train once and then not tell us.
I was in China, as you are, in 1980.
Researching the origins of your name.
Yes, researching the origins of my name with my father.
I was listening.
And we were up north at a forestry railway, which is a narrow gauge railway. And my dad was seriously into steam engines. And we were on this trip on this steam engine with pulling a train, and it stopped at the station. And I said to our interpreter, is it how long before the train goes? And he says half an hour. So I believed him like an idiot. And there was this bridge out over the top of a huge ravine down to a river. And it was one of those bridges where, I can't believe I'm saying this now, but it had the sleepers, and you could see through them down into the water, all the way down. And there was I know, and I was walking out on this bridge, just thinking, well, this is fun. I wonder how far I can get before I get.
I don't even like that little walkway at the Spinnaker Tower. Do you know the little it's like this? It's like this long. I hate that.
So there I am, standing a third of the way along this bridge, and the train starts moving towards me on a single line, and I'm standing on this bridge with 70 feet or 70, a long, long way down to the water. I'm going, fuck, 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 fuck. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, there was nothing I could do. So I just sort of stood there and waved. And the security guard, who was supposed to look after us and keep us out of trouble, ran out in front of the steam engine, ran onto the bridge, picked me up. I was a lot thinner then. Picked me up and carried me to an observation platform halfway across the bridge, which I hadn't even seen. Put me down there, and the train went chung 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 straight afterwards. And that man stood there and shouted at me in Chinese, "You fucking idiot! You utter git!" And then he said, "You're beautiful," and kissed me. Ta-da! See ya.
Oh well, there you go. Oh well,
cool.
There you go.
I mean, stories about times that you were sexually assaulted. That's probably one of the best I've heard.
It's probably one of the best I've heard. Yeah. As a journalist in the 1970s, that was pretty normal.
Yeah. I also like the twist that you didn't see the observation deck. I like that little element.
I didn't. No, it was 2 planks and a piece of wire, literally. Oh, come on. It wouldn't have been a good story if I'd seen it, and I didn't, because I'm sick.
Have I told you the time about I saw a train from an observation deck? About all right, Maggy.
I do that with films all the time. So imagine if that story was a film. I was like, well, why didn't she just go up onto the observation deck?
Yeah.
Because, Graham, there wouldn't be a film otherwise. Like,
no, there wouldn't
woman steps out onto a bridge, sees a platform, steps onto platform, avoids train. The end. It's shit.
It's called comedy. You see, you don't say, I walked onto a bridge and stood on an observation deck so a train could go past, because it's not funny.
Oh, thank you for the lesson in comedy.
I thought you might like that. Yes, a little cat speech is always a good thing on a Wednesday night.
Amazing. There we go. Good. Right. Okay. Cool. Right. So, I'm going to call time at the bar. So, if anyone has any last minute things that they would like to talk about, a quick story, quick plug, anything like that, go ahead. Or
you did want me to bring it up. It's been 25 years.
Of course.
My wrestling certificate.
Yes. So yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. So this is from your wrestling camp when you were how old?
25 years ago, so 1995, I took part in that.
Oh, there you go. Well done.
I did do a lot of wrestling, but I did actually do karaoke in the middle of a wrestling ring.
So random.
Why would they call Judo?
What did you sing
Yeah,
in the karaoke?
I've just actually done a stand-up set on this, but I won't do the whole actual stand-up set. But the gist of the story is I was listening to a tape of myself singing to a backing track of Cher, and the other boys in the wrestling camp thought it was so funny, they dragged me over to the trainer's room at 2:00 in the morning to do a live performance. And obviously he very much appreciated that, so the next day he made me do it in the middle of a wrestling ring. So I was in the middle of a wrestling ring singing into an empty Coke bottle to a backing track of myself singing to Cher, singing just like Jesse James, surrounded by 15 blokes with like prick trousers. So that's why I've got no problems doing stand-up comedy.
I've got visions of you like imitating Cher, like in fishnets, straddling a big cannon, singing "If I Could Turn Back Time."
Although one of the other things I did was in Disney World, they had a like nightclub area, and during the day there was a karaoke thing there, and I did a karaoke thing where I did both parts of Summer Nights.
Brilliant.
And literally was it. I went back a year later. Now consider this is Disney World, millions of visitors every year. I went back a year later, and she recognised me.
Brilliant.
Amazing. All right, cool.
Considering this is the bit where people plug their social media, that was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so everyone that is viewing should go ahead now and follow Ian on Twitter. That's his handle right there. I still can't do it. 9 weeks in, I still can't get used to the reverse angle. There it is. That one there. Thank you very much to everyone. Thank you to Ian. Thank you to Maggie. Thank you to Mike.
Hang on. What about everyone else's social media?
I'm getting to that. Please follow them all on their. Please follow them all on their respective social media. Oh, I was getting there. It's me.
That's my Instagram.
That's his Instagram. There you go. Where he's got lots of pictures of him in his pants with some inspirational captions underneath them. That's my favorite thing about Instagram, by the way. Like where there was just some woman in a bikini, and then it's got like "seize the day" on it. It's just like what? That makes no sense. But anyway, yeah. So there we go. Maggie, have you got any socials?
Yeah, please follow myself and Susie Crockford on Podbean, Wise Women, the Vicar and the Witch. It's a weekly conversation between a vicar and a witch. And I'll let you guess which is which.
Now, there's a plot twist. The witch actually turns out to be the vicar. That would be...
Oh, and you could always also go and buy a copy of my latest novel, which is called Tales of the Blue Panda.
Amazing. It hasn't got a blue panda in it because
it's a cat panda car.
You've got a podcast and a book. Of course you have. I've just got an Instagram handle. It's been the theme of this entire stream.
We're all just silently in awe because we've found a comedian with discipline.
Why has Ian just decided to turn his bow tie on now?
I'll challenge you.
What's going on here?
There you go. I've got a necklace that lights up. There you go. Christmas necklace. All right. That's all that.
Again, I still think you've just stolen someone's Christmas lights and just fashioned it into. It's like that refurb show with Arthur Smith, the one that he narrates. What's that called? It's basically
nothing's showing up because I'm just suddenly aware that my jumper blends in with the Christmas paper that I blue tacked to the walls, so I just look like a head. I just look like Holly.
How is that different to normal?
All right, Dave.
Don't think you heard me. Think I got away with it. Right, good. Good.
I heard you. It just wasn't funny.
Well, it was to me. That's all that counts. So good. Right. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Right. Please do follow everyone on social media. Again, please support the show by donating to the PayPal link so that I might be able to give the act some money. Because
I'll get the link back up. There we go. I'll put it subtly in the middle.
Because we've all had to revert to day jobs instead of doing comedy, which is what we really want to do, of course. Or at the very least, if you'd like to donate via the QR code and donate $5, it could, at the very least, just cover the cost of my beers. Currently, one of our guests is the leading contributor to the donation, Ian. So thank you for that. Next week is the season finale, and we've got Stephanie Lang and Tony Law on, which I'm absolutely buzzing about because I'm a total fanboy when it comes to those two.
Well, you think you do, but if today's anything to go by, I'll see you next week.
Well, yeah.
I love the pinky out as well when you were drinking. That was beautiful.
Yeah. I think
I made my point.
Perfect. All right. Good. Okay. So we'll see you same time next week, 10 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. This has been Booze at 10. I've been Graham Whistler. Please drink sensibly for the love of God. Don't spill it. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. All right. Bye. Bye.